Oh, we're on. Okay, great. So this is the first show. This is the McKlukan report. This is the first show for McKlukan. This is my character. So we're going to talk a little bit seriously about chicken parm. That's our subject for today. Oh, excuse me for a second. All right, Ann. So we have a couple of questions. We have a couple of thoughts about chicken parm. You may have some thoughts or questions. We have you up here in case you want to make a comment. Uh, we're discussing chicken parm, and we're looking for kind of input sometimes if you have an input on something on your flavor, taste, and texture. But we're going to go over the basics on chicken parm. Well, we all know what chicken parmesan is. It's a really great meal. You can have it as a sandwich, as an actual meal with some vegetables and things like that nature. And sometimes there's different textures or tastes that you put in the sauces or the breads. So we're going to go down the basics here and kind of talk about the topic of chicken parmesan. And based on your favorite, you may have a specific way how to make chicken parm. So we're going to start with the chicken. Generally, I like to use the breast of a chicken. Yeah, it's a lot nicer because it's a lot softer. And what I like to see sometimes, not the how they make it in supermarkets or actually a bad restaurant, which is basically processed chicken. I like to have a whole breast chicken, sliced up really nice, maybe about half an inch thick, and then breaded and then kind of deep fried and then cut in the middle. Yeah, that sounds really good. Now, you may have a better recipe yourself. It may be you bake your chicken. You may have a preference for that. And we'd like to hear from you if you have any comments on that. If you have Lucille, be quiet. So another thing entirely. So if you have a good way of making chicken parm, we'd like to hear about that. But we're going to kind of discuss kind of the breakdown of chicken parm. Chicken parm, obviously chicken. Some good marinara sauce, some provolone, and some nice bread. Preferably, well, French bread, Italian bread is good. This is kind of a good thing we want to use. It's really nice, very soft. Oh, yeah. This smells real good. So, again, we're back to chicken parm. My idea is to kind of get some good chicken, freshly cut up, fresh, and then kind of bread it, grill it, or not grill it, but deep fry it. I kind of like that better because it kind of seats in the flavor, and then slice it in the middle and put it in your roll, and then get some good marinara sauce. And a lot of people don't know where to get good marinara sauce, and generally, Midwest, California, it's really hard to get good marinara sauce. I kind of have to really search everywhere, but good marinara sauce has got that sweet tanginess to it, you know what I mean? And it just kind of, you can just want to just drink the stuff. So if you got that good type of marinara sauce, you're going to definitely use this on your chicken parm or your chicken parm sub. Provolone, it depends. People have different preferences on where they like to get their provolone. I like to have a little thick provolone, so it kind of melts on your chicken parm, just melts there and just kind of like drips and oozes off of it as you slice it open and your chicken parm, and just kind of just drools down all over your chicken parm. Nice, good provolone cheese. Now, not the shredded type, but more the sliced type, and a little bit thicker. So it kind of, when you do put it on, it gives it some time to kind of, a bond with the chicken parm, and then. Then when it's set just enough, when you bite into it, it kind of just becomes one with the chicken parm. So I know a lot of people are getting hungry. I'm kind of am. So breaking it down so far, we got the chicken parm, we got the marinara sauce, we got the provolone, and those are key ingredients. Now, some people like to have chicken parm a little bit differently. Some actually have it on a roll with some lettuce underneath it, maybe tomatoes. Yeah, tomatoes without the marinara sauce, it's okay. And then fried chicken, breaded, sliced a little dash of pepper and salt, and then maybe some sliced diced tomatoes, some diced peppers, maybe some diced pickles, a little bit of onions, and then some mayonnaise. Nice, not too thick on it, where it kind of oozes out of the sandwich, but enough to make it just kind of give that little tangy texture flavor. That's pretty good. But I really prefer, and I'm sure a lot of other people prefer, is a nice chicken parm meal or a nice chicken parm sub. And they're really great. So I recommend something a little bit like this kind of a bread. It's Italian bread or similar French bread is fine. But slicing it in the middle, opening it up, and generally maybe kind of like putting it in on a grill or basically on a stove that actually heats the internal parts. Yes, yes. You want to say something? No. What? No. The bread. Okay. Well, we'll talk back to him in a few minutes. So the idea is that you would get some nice bread. Oh yeah, and you slice it, right, and you open it up, and then you kind of heat and get it all nice and crispy inside. Now you can do that. I tend to think it's a not good idea sometimes when you have too much marinara sauce, because it then makes it all soggy. But generally, it doesn't last that long. You know what I mean? You probably ate half of it before it actually sogs this type of bread, because it's good solid bread. It's got nice nooks and crannies in there if you can see them. I don't know if you can see them. You look at those nice nooks and crannies. Yeah. So it has a lot of thickness to it, a lot of density. And so you won't have much problems with that. But people may prefer to have a little bit of a brown toasted look inside. It's your pleasure at that point. It's not going to affect the overall meal. You may have a little bit of a dryness to the bread. You don't want to have too much dryness. You want to be like, you want to absorb the marinara sauce, okay? You want the marinara sauce to just kind of be reaching into that bread and kind of bonding with it, you know? So when you eat it, you can just feel this juiciness and soft texture of the bread and the marinara sauce, you know what I mean? Oh yeah, you're right. So a couple of us Italians, we kind of go no to the fact of the sandwich with lettuce, mayo, and pickles. It's not a true chicken parmesan. I agree with my counterpart here, but you got to really, if you want to, because it's a sandwich, it's okay, but it's not the best. If you want the best, you've got to have a chicken parmesan sub with the marinara. Now, not all marinara. Okay, let's go right now to the marinaras. Marinara sauce is not equal, okay, to other stuff you find out there. You got to make some good marinara sauce, and it's very difficult to get the right tomatoes when they're just perfect and juicy. I would never go for stuff that's been, scientifically modified, because it takes the taste and texture and out of the tomato. And so you want to have something that's really juicy, sweet, tangy, all those attributes of a tomato. And then you're going to add all the other ingredients to make that marinara sauce. Now, do I know what that is? I'm sorry, I don't. I have to admit that I don't know what marinara sauce would really be like, or how you make it. But when I have tasted good marinara sauce, you know the difference. It is so good that you could probably just have that. I mean, really. I mean, it's so good. It makes you want to just, just eat that and dip it with bread. I mean, and it's good with just by itself. But when you get that good, then you want that crispiness, okay? So with the chicken parm. So what you want to do is, in my opinion, this is my opinion, I prefer the deep fried version. Not only does it trap the moisture inside the chicken if you do it right, but also it gives that crispiness on the out shell with the breading on it. And so when it's sliced open, you put it in your sub right here, slice it open, put it in, and then you put some provolone cheese on it. Slice the provolone cheese on both sides. Let it just sit there for a little bit, can kind of soft and oozy, and then just put your marinara sauce in. You can put all you want. You can put all you want in there, or just a little bit of it, and then a little bit of salt and pepper. I prefer that because I want to have that little bit of a little taste to it to kind of accentuate the sweetness of the sauce, and then the nice cheesy flavor, and then the crispiness, and then the moist chicken. Yeah, I'm getting hungry too. So with that in mind, how do you prepare your Parmesan sub? We'd like to hear from you about that. Put your comments in the selection below, and then give us an idea where you go get your chicken parm, and where I like to even hear from people who have family members who basically go, hey, my mom makes a great chicken parmesan. If you've got a mom that makes great chicken parmesan sauce, she is a keeper. I'm telling you, if she can make good parm, she makes pretty much everything else great. Probably partially Italian, but overall, maybe she learned from a good Italian mom. You've got a gold mine. Don't leave your basement if you have to. Well, you badly have to. But then find a woman to make a good chicken parmesan as well, because good food in life is far better than anything else. So if you can, put your comments below where you have the best chicken parm, I can visit. And we'll do a show, and we'll talk about the process. So it could be anywhere from England, California. I can make arrangements to, do a show. We can sit there and we can go over all the steps on how you make your chicken parm, and then we can, eat it. And well, Lucille's getting kind of antsy. No, I won't talk to her about it. She's like, she wouldn't like that. Anyway, some people know who Lucille is. So anyway, again, if you have a recipe and you like to share it, we'd like to see it and post it. And tell us about your chicken parm stories. When did you have your first chicken parm? Was it on your first date? Was it on your first when you first became a man or a woman? When did something identify that you basically had an event happen when we were graced with the ability to have a chicken parm? So I was told just recently that Chestnut, Chestnut, I will definitely check out that in 2 weeks. I'll be in the area and we can make chicken parms. So I do like it crispy, not a little bit soggy on the breaded chicken parm. It has to be really good. It can't be all pasty and stuff. It has to be nice and crispy. And then the sauce goes on. And I know you've talked about, we had yours before, and it's great, but I would like to see, some kind of variation. Also, back to what we were talking about, when did you have your chicken parm? Was it when you were 10 years old, 2 years old? Were you introduced it to a family member? Tell your story, and we can discuss it even further. I ended up making chicken parms when I was working for a business in Vermont, and it was a basic setup, basically frying chicken and making the Parmesan and taking the marinara sauce out of a can. I know a can, but it was already processed marinara sauce, and there was nothing needed afterwards. It was just perfect sauce. I would love to get that sauce, but I don't think they make it anymore because, health reasons. Yeah, I know, health reasons, right? So from that point, then we had, put the Parmesan on there, a little dab of pepper and some salt, and then you had it in a pita, or you had it in one of these puppies, and that and a glass of water, and that was pretty much it. So again, let's see, I've got on the list: chicken, check; sauce, marinara. These are the basic ingredients of a great chicken parm: chicken, sauce, cheese, and then bread. And you can't just use any other bread. You can't use sourdough. You can't use, white bread or wheat bread. It's got to be good Italian bread like this, or something variation to French bread. Chicken must be fresh. It basically needs to kind of be sliced properly to the size of the meal you're having. And then the cheese, it's got to be good. It can't be all this cheap cheese that's made out of whatever, oil. Get some good Parmesan cheese. I'm sorry. Yeah, provolone cheese. I'm sorry, provolone. And then some good bread. And then find somebody who knows how to make it. I mean, obviously, it's just basic 4 ingredients, right? You think, basically 4 ingredients. But it's much more than that. You've got to have somebody who's lived it, who embeds that in their life, that is their milieu. I mean, you got to go to some place that actually makes this on a daily basis and is like, that's their thing. Because you're going to find that if they're passionate about it and they like this stuff, then they're going to basically give you a part of them, a part of who they are and part of their culture and who they are, and give you something that represents their desire and passion for that. Generally, what I've seen is places that have chicken parms that are frozen, you know, the frozen chicken parms, and the sauce is already kind of junkified on there, and you put it in your microwave and it's all chewy and just, you know, processed chicken with nasty provolone on it, and the bun is just like a hamburger bun, and that's not good. I mean, it's like $3 or $4 for that. It's like, what did I get? I ate that and I'm still hungry. I mean, that's half of this. So again, if you have a place, Chicago, good place to go, New York, upstate New York, some places in Vermont. I prefer Vermont is a good place. Some of the older restaurants that used to be there made good chicken parm. Some of the pizza places there, one in particular, Bennington Pizza House. I haven't tasted their chicken parm, but I have tasted their pizza. It's not so bad. It's a good pizza there. If you're going to say, let's see, Phoenix, Arizona, there's a Chestnut. I'm going to check that out in about 2 weeks, see how they are. I hope their standards are a little bit better, though. I'll see how that goes out with me once I get there. Oh, they've moved locations. They're now serving chicken parm in Peoria, Arizona. So that's where I'll be in 2 weeks. Hopefully I can do a show there and learn how to make chicken parm the Chestnut way. I'm in California right now. If there's anybody locally that knows a good chicken parm place, Paul, you know who you are. If you have some place that I can go to that we can have a good chicken Parmesan sub, let me know. Fred, if you've got a place in Connecticut, let me know. Or hook me up with a place there when I visit in about 2 years or a year. And anybody else that has a good recommendation, just list them at the thing above, and we'll do a little show by the time I get out of this place. All right. So again, that's all I have for today. The topic today was chicken Parmesan subs or chicken Parmesan. If you have any other types of things you put with that chicken parm, that would be nice too. Maybe a little bit of mixed vegetables or some kind of noodle dish. That would be nice to hear about. And if you have any kind of recipes that you can recommend, we can probably do them on the show. So thank you for watching the show, and we'd love to have you on here sometime, and have a nice day.